Hi, welcome to our video. My name is Emmy. Behind the camera is Eve.
Hi.
Eve showed you in the previous video how to thread a top loading machine. What I'm going to show you today is how to work with a front loading machine. And front loading, as you can see, the extension table is on. I'm going to slide the extension table off. And when I take that off at the front, there's a little lid here that opens up, and there is a bobbin with a bobbin holder. The bobbin holder has got this little lever. You pull that like that and you take the bobbin holder out. This machine is a new home sewing machine. Nothing to do with the brand. It's just the type of machine that I've chosen to use to show you how to use a front loading sewing machine. So this is the bobbin holder and the bobbin. The bobbin goes in after you have been winding the bobbin. You can see here, little lever to take it and then put it back in.
What is this here on the side?
So on here is a little screw, and the little screw is for the tension of the bobbin. So whenever you put your bobbin on your thread on the bobbin, you have to make sure that you then slide it in, which I will show you in the second part of our video. So this is the first part about the machine, and second part will be how to thread your machine. This needs to be nice and tight. It can't be moving too much. It can't be loose, and it can't be too tight. If it's too loose, the thread goes in too easy, and if it's too tight, then it's very hard to move the thread in. So that's the tension of the bobbin, very important with this front loading machine. The other part is another tension that also makes sure that you have the right type of tension on your fabric. You want to have a nice balance, and whenever I mean a nice balance, it means that when you sew a stitch, you don't want it to be too loose or too tight. And the tension dial ranges from 0 to 9. If your machine is new, it will already come set as 4. If you've bought your machine second hand, or it's been passed on to you, what you'll find is that the tension dial could be on anything. And to come back to the stitch on your fabric when you're sewing, when I'm talking about a balanced stitch, you want it to look right. So if you're looking at your thread after you stitched it and it has got loops in your fabric, it means that your fabric is it's puckering on your fabric. Your thread is puckering and it's too loose. What you'll need to do is move your dial to a higher number until you get it right. It's basically you start on 4. If it's too loose, move it to 5 and then sew a stitch. Still having problem, move it to 6 and so on until you get the right tension. If your tension is too tight, it means that your stitch will be pulling. Yes, your fabric will be pulling. It's almost sort of like just crumbling your fabric together. And what you will need to do is move your tension dial to a lower number. So tightening, loosening. The next thing we're going to be looking at is the tension dial. Sorry, not the tension dial.
The stitch dial.
The stitch dial. Thank you, Eve. The stitch dial explains the different stitches that the machine has. So if you have a look at this, it's in different colors. And then see this here, also different colors. So basically what you need to do, if you're selecting straight stitch, which you can see a yellow single and a triple green. The yellow single means a single stitch. You've got the left needle position and you've got the middle needle position. If I want to have any of these, I will then choose A for my middle needle position, and I will choose B for my left needle position, making sure that my stitch length dial is also on yellow. It means I can choose any of those stitch length. This is the stitch length dial. I can choose between 0 and 4. Standard stitch is 2.5. That's what I find a better stitch. And then you've got orange for your buttonhole. You select buttonhole here and buttonhole there. And as you can see, the green straight stitch is triple. It's a stretch stitch for sewing stretchy fabric, or a reinforcing stitch if you need extra strength in your fabric, in the stitch that you're sewing. So you then select, you still keep it on straight stitch, and it's here on the stitch length dial where it makes a difference. You turn it to SS. SS will give you those stitches here, and orange, which is between 0 and 1, will give you the buttonhole, which is also done in different stages. So what you will do is 1, 2, 3, and then go back to 2 and 4. So that is the stitch dial, and then the stitch length dial, and it's got the reverse button. You press the reverse button in, and the reverse button will allow you to sew back. The other thing we've got is the hand wheel. The hand wheel controls the needle up and down, up and down. So as you can see, the needle goes up and down as you're turning the hand wheel. And on this hand wheel, you will find that there is another dial on the inside. This dial is for here, is for the bobbin, for winding the bobbin. So when you're winding the bobbin, you want to make sure that the dial here on the inside is loose. That's on this particular machine. It could be that your machine has got a button to press in, or you need to pull the handle out, or you need to slide something down. But you always have to make sure that when you're winding the bobbin, that your hand wheel that controls the needle is loose and stops the needle from moving up and down, up and down. You've got the spool holder at the back of the machine here, where you put your spool, your thread, and you see that this one here, it's meant to be another one. It's snapped. If you were to use, let's say you have got only one and it's snapped, what you best can do is use a little bucket or a cup, put your spool in there, put that on the side of your machine, and then you can thread your machine as planned. This machine also has got the guide for lifting up, a lever, sorry, for lifting up the foot up and down. In the video that Eve has shown you, the lever was on the inside, but this one is at the back.
Lift it up again so we can see the
So lifting it up and setting it down. Make sure you set it down gently. Show it at the back how I'm lifting it up. Lift up and set down. So always make sure you lift it up and you set it down gently, and that will set the foot down so you can sew. And the foot pedal that comes with the machine, you put the foot pedal on the floor. So set it on the floor, plug your machine in there. This is how my plugs looked. Plug it in, and as you can see, what's happened is that my machine has switched on straight away. The light has come on. It's because my machine this particular machine doesn't have an off and on button. So if you are going to do anything with the needle, you don't want your needle to be moving up and down. So either unplug or loosen loosen the dial at the bobbin so it doesn't move up and down. The light for this machine, which you often find with vintage machines, that you can open it up. It's got a light bulb that you can change, so you can change the light bulb here. So this is it about this front loading machine. In the second part, I will tell you how the sewing machine, how to thread the sewing machine. So thank you for watching and see you in the next part too. Bye.
Bye.